Entim Goba say just Enra and Israel and Iran based Omoko.
Okay.
Very simple. Israel since gaining independence, me find say onyan recognition from United States say or your man. There was this issue and hangi. Israel. They state me and I say might be a daho. Arab for fan, Jewish for fan. The ever find say Israelis were fan and a Palestinians were fan. But the bar say or more recognize woman a true man time. Na anka was say a beer or more recognize the two countries, say obia your mind, also your man. And Kobanesa obia the mind of true man, then the American president. Koba say my Israelis or the Israelites. Or come on, so I recognize as a state.
Okay.
And then the Koba say Palestine for no Omunim or state and now we state. It is Israel for Chichi Omo mind. I fancy me a country.
Okay.
Chichi Omo, I could join UN. Chichi countries need to be unrecognized because not some of the countries of the world were saying that I say you recognize Omo.
Okay.
Sa Entawantawano na awo from that time from 1948. A belly do bedroom baby say Israel for say okay, so I tell the Palestine for crown, assassin crown, near their moon free hop. A bedroom baby a Palestine for which I said in the olden days, historically, biblically, Momo Koya Moko Egypt, Okonso and Kwasu, mobile near Waha.
Okay.
To mobile back in the Yanni man baby, and indeed the story is woman I for.
Okay.
Israeli Arabs, Israelis, especially the Palestine horn, Omina for.
Okay.
Arab ni bi open so or sasa do biano or the Jewish language and I said Aramaic and obia so on so Jew ni biano most of them ni nyina so te Arab just say onka and that where this will be ni nua nyina different countries but on the scale no nyina asase ba ko so no more and where we are now no politics and this anyama we buy say wo hwemu the whole Arabian Peninsula, the Middle East, America, I want to any business case. America only to me too much over European so. And any business too much over Europe so. Then business pa American here and oil trading in Yamani, Middle East war. No also who say Middle East war the strongest ally. English country our Middle East here bakope. Israel. And ti a honor omwono. And American say na downfall ni nua ni bibiano no and the san man na ho no and the be build say in the 1964-67 mo ho no Arab for no Palestine for no e be nyu obi to say yes Arafat
okay
e be do ni mreso no and o say there be say ye ni ayenkura Israeli passport yen so a Palestine passport ye ni bi Israel say me recognize you as a nation. United Nations, American forces there be Yamamunye country, Munyan Ruho. But Russia population and no mukra. Any omududo, any Bibia Omsuyabia, they can also function as a state.
Okay.
But Oma Makwain and the UN Yasia Mamon Kahun. And Namuna Palestine, Ombeti PLO. But before PLO, no, na a organization back Palestinian Popular Liberation Front and I never ho.
Okay.
Omo say no me a nationalist Palestinian say Israel for crown. Omo tim no mon transase no so. Then you masase omo nko. And no ne didi mo a omo be so hwe the Entebbe raid 1976 more baby no. Sa group on that and nye the Arafat. But na yes Arafat nso so wo ho.
Okay.
Woni Israel abenyan tokwa. And your friend the Israeli Arab war, Palestine war no. No makukum bia. Enti na akwa this omo brande ni na world order. Wiase e brande se Palestine so no. Omo ye rebels. Omo ye terrorists and the brande yes Arafat. A hodo nam fi said the world did not do it well. Enti betwa so from Benjamin at time ABC Godamaya time no. Israeli Prime Minister somebody another donor believe say Israel the state Palestine here recognize but Palestine didn't have anything. Only police, only post office, only airport, only friends port, only BBR. So it has been a problem say sorry they cross the strip no akwa ye adwuma e Jerusalem Israel almost more other part of Hebron many other places no koye adwuma no ma back until they were seen more or less as Israel for omo nkwa. This had been the position and no na den tokwa no and start here and I fat obeye bia until prime minister after prime minister prime minister after prime minister obi aba onene beko onene beye but ebedu Israel omo parties bia mapei ene omo independent party ene omo ye kadima ene omo ye mina la kadima ni ye mina no banjiro party no de ban mapei ene na independent party no ono na conservative no ntini amase nti ono ye Arafat mo ebe ye problems ni bia fine nti ebedu time Israel so benya Labour Party ene benya Alignment Labour ene benya Yes Atid ene ba benya Likud na Likud for no omne ye Israel hardliners so omu de yampene so but Labour for no leading from Golda Meir our tries for best start peace say yenye country ni mienu no bi antran baby no eno omantia say odim say 5 years omi eyi no if we Golda Meir time no the next Israeli prime minister obaya oye na dwen say obe end man any Yitzhak Rabin and Yitzhak Rabin ni de ono ne Yasser Arafat eye handshake or the Oslo Accord
anka asumbiye beba
forever and what say under the presidency my best in the history of America was Clinton it's Clinton no broker side deal no ama omu nyina akohia and omu sa ba Washington esa be share be have handshake and don't prepare bibia and to the best of everybody in the world understanding that two party state you know ayejuma more or less na eno so no Israel for brand Arafat so a rebel Israeli defense no mo bekuno omba Tunisia how cry say ankomba bekuno yes Arafat generals no bekuno mo Tunisia hamamlef and onu nya ni team didum nti yes Arafat there no it was seen as ordained send so be liberating nkofo no and obenya the marching partner no so te omo course na se Yitzhak Rabin and Rabin ni Arafat yes peace no na ebedu omo election time ama Rabin be rolu that time na they were preparing the two states Israel one state and na yenhu ba bi free a hardliner a 25-year-old boy Yigalamia who was a law student I was in Israel in that city at that very day at the Edison Takanamba Gazi baby a unity take place in our Tel Aviv November 4th 1995 I was in Israel so baby obi our campaign days our platform Shimon Peres wo Ehud Omet wo Ehud Barak wo Ariel Sharon Israel mpanyimfo nyina wo it was something like a rally leading to the next day na nkomo baba yede omo baba ma Palestine for anya hoto meanwhile that time no na Yasser Arafat Israeli Defense Force no there oma keji no kra oma no kwan emani pie because they did the hardliners no omo so omo mpene Yigaramia who was in the pool of people and I said a war campaign as and rally as and etimi shutu from the public Emma wankumo bia Negan was able to take Yitzhak Rabin down and instantly killed him.
Wow.
And owu ye no that rally no everything grounded. Like I said everything a Clinton ye nyina asa be reverse.
Yes.
Until that time no it was Labour and Labour Party of Israel no and na until na omu prime minister na onwie ye until Shimon Peres na oye no foreign minister at the time no on the be take the mantle Shimon Peres no eba be call just 1 year and a Likud party for no enya obeka American Republicans and I say the Nationalist Party no almost sorry ye until was say Shimon Peres try say onko bema onso beto aso na nko maye no and a 1 year time omo call Israeli Knesset omo cabinet no omo voting out and a Bibi Netanyahu we obaye 1996 obedi 3 years o call ye no and a Ehud Ayibaye Ehud Barak buy no any Omet buy and was bim 2009 from 2009 to 2016 osa ho sa bibi Netanyahu na do mo ye ne say Likud party anytime a Likud bebe bia no say prime minister ampeso transfer o yusu the fight with Palestine because Israeli parliamentary and the national law no, whenever Israel the trigger of alarm in the air said the country will raise the security bar now you can't have any elections. Anti Likud for no bar they create that kind of emergencies say country in air kun and I want to kwa sana tia dia enya dia yebetimi akọ enti anu na today's Bibi Netanyahu or the free power of free 1999 acquire now or loba saba 2013 or the tina. But let us not forget something. One him for anything and to kwaya bedu. Say you free it could be Hamas.
Yeah, Hamas.
Hamas no omo branding as terrorist organization. Yeah. But that terrorist organization no nanye Israel na no neneko. Hamas was created by the Israelis themselves. Okay. Israeli intelligence they created Mossad for they created Hamas within Palestine. Say omun frustrated Yasser Arafat. Say the independent for the Palestinian people.
Wow.
Until Hamas for started in 1987 establish Hamas no more rather than a radical group bia Israel for the training woman de Yasser Arafat.
Ti atamfo abehye yemu. Ena omaye omo say omo kan ye ho. Ena omo san opposite
within.
Yeah.
And to be bebusa say bunka no ne amra na wasio no Yasser Arafat didn't have that money and that dominate that technology mbesa Israelis na na yema wo nti no mun so na timi making sure say Yasser Arafat enya independence emuna Yasser Arafat ebewu ye no and Israel for say Hamas will give in what you say so okay ya na temu ya na tetemu ade na yahwehwe ne yansaka entom kwanka say independence no afi do mu mpe so a turn around by the Hamas no and no so a turn against Israel say there be ye kra de hia no che Yasser Arafat no papa eno ne from 19 it is Hamas any Israel and tokwa no.
Wow.
Whilst this was going on at the same agency the same team no and they call it Hezbollah.
Okay.
Ama so called Lebanon no so fight say ya independence of Emaso. Wow. And this is a case, a clear case. Omo the kreti. Okay. Sadie no. And Bibi Netanyahu wabedi ade 2 times ko. Ada Ehud Barak mo ne yimo Ehud Omet mo aba eko. But enam say Likud baby antokwa. Omne Hamas kuma ni di prolong no. Enom de Netanyahu saba 2022. But let us not forget before 2022 you be starting nanko obeko jail because no aye corruption practices be in 2016 mo nanko omde ni ko jail na otimi nya a friend is saying onya parliamentary approval once Israel omko parliament so we shift it omiye ni 15 ko one side kra na say ye switch prime minister and okonya alignment ahasia ebaka chess alliance and otimi ya de ebeye obeye prime minister no and no ye na dwen se wanya nko jedi a eso otimi try na oma Israelites no say no or ye bema and no this start here and the start was start here no na oye amenesi say ne brother no me enuafo mienu Yonahan Netanyahu ana Bibi Netanyahu Yohan ona na epanyin no no na 1976 time Israeli your friends the Palestinian Liberation Force for no omo kidnap Israelites ewo Air France so edum kogu Uganda no the brother ni Kubi ona na ye the Israeli commando ona na head nipa 103 rescue no the brother ni the commandos no kwa no onu nko ani wiye into 48 years oko celebrate by no like say ni bre no aba because claim say Palestine for na ye ma ni brother no you could me one na nye Palestine for no kwa na 2 Palestinians and 2 Germans Wilfred Bozer and Kuma na Kuma na yoba o na ni o mko ye sade no Israelis commandos come timi kum o mu and o kum Ugandan army 45 what you then say and the brother na brewa bi ananko mu ye ko rescue no no ko ne brother no or celebrating no 48 years from 1970 any last year meant no celebrate year no they started Hamas in Tokwan.
Wow.
But what you then say enti premeditated predestined our ho.
Okay.
Name generally Iran comes in say Hezbollah, Hamas, and your friends say PLO. Omuchire said all the terrorist branded rebellion activities are called within the Arabian Peninsula. No, say Iran and the mom training.
Okay.
Iran the mom weapons.
Okay.
Iran the mom way. But that is not even the case. On the meaning said, which said there was a time Iran in Iraq ebenya war.
Yeah.
Iran-Iraq war.
Iran-Iraq.
Yes.
Yeah.
Iran-Iraq war.
Yeah.
On some bakunye controversially no. Now Americans support to Iraq. At a point, they Israel support Iran. Now omu yes anti-Iran-Iraq war no. Saddam Hussein eko gase with nuclear.
Yeah.
Eko she Iranians. And Iranians who bent a sa nuclear proliferations no. Omu nuclear challenges no. A buy.
Okay.
Until Ushema at that time, Saddam Hussein no, was American ally. The American for Penasem.
Okay.
Against Iran.
Yeah.
Young 10 of event. Santo Qualibet die no. Emma Iran Iraq Crano. Ebe Sovu Muntem Kama Sunjie by. And I feel a Kobe said the Republic of Iran. Arab for ne American for Arab for ne believe said terrorism, rebellion. Any dash Al-Qaeda near the Iran for and a support. Whereas we blame Saudi Arabia say Saudi Arabia and a T Al-Qaeda. Other than American for Uncle Bomber and as many Al-Qaeda. But Iran there, almost man said, yes, nema Hezbollah training, yes, nema Hamas training, yes, ne say, like I said, sa feed into the mind. But idea say nuclear programs are not Iran air cost. Iran kwan na nuclear warheads. Onye bi ne dia nko onye developing way.
Okay.
Israel na mo no nuclear heads ni bi.
Okay.
France will be.
Okay.
Paris will be.
Yeah.
UK will be. London will be.
Russia will be.
Russia will be. China will be. India also will be.
Japan.
But will be Japan or one there.
Yeah.
A lot of countries are South Korea, North Korea mo nyina warheads ni bi. And will be babu say.
Argentina.
When they determine say who there.
Yeah.
We pen the crown there, we the try but we pen it there or the try and yet. This is what we are.
Okay.
And I'm not so and I say American government, Obama and the Bush brandy Iran say or support to the nuclear warehouse no so be nuclear na or the bidding some money. And Iran so ampa so Makan way back in the 70s, way back in the 80s, Palestine, Israeli Arab war no. Na Iran on Kahun, Israeli Arab war in 1976, you know, Israel or Jordan or Egypt, and or Syria boom, and on no 6 days. And this way, more craft in 450 6 days. And on the American President Jimmy Carter on the Walter Mondale, the vice, you know, or when the team broke up peace 1976 and 78 to 79, no. And when we hear the Camp David Accord, and Kwama Egypt in Israel talk with try. In Israel, no crown Egypt in no moko, and his dual on his Syria no corner, and Tokano, how say Iran crown on Man Peninsula anymore, or no Persian Gulf, and room so Arabian Peninsula anymore. A then a horn and Tokwaneba. Like I said, Oma accuse you, say, Omo a support to a.
But from where you sit, you know, accusations a false, Anna. Could it be right, true or false?
Whether it is true or not, there are a lot of organizations that were branded. ANC was branded as terrorist.
Okay.
SWAPO Sam Nujuma Namibia it was branded.
Yeah.
Samora Machel Mozambique was branded.
Okay.
Congo. Are you getting me? You can name them. All of them branded as what? So be no independent biano. But on Iran they are just being accused said or ye nuclear heads.
Okay.
Entia maninye into omra table beginning no say no ho one chrome or a sovereign nation o makwama international atomic o ma ho ma bibia na oye ne sa de putu fie e ma ne hu ye hu se bi kwa na nuclear heads waye it is not different from the Saddam Hussein. President Clinton and Tony Blair accuses the Saddam Hussein or nuclear. Obakai, International Atomic Energy for no super say we believe we develop a but time American folk kromon say banchi kwano oni bi ho and on the kutu Saddam based on the same nuclear suspicions. And the same nuclear suspicions no Iran say yes one de oye ne de but ne de no for peace. Now enya nwanwa say International Atomic Agency Europeans brokered the deal between the Americans, Israelis, and the world, and United Nations. After Bama Kwama Mabakruma Besha said, your nuclear Nibia. As we speak, Omo Krumo. And then the Iranians say, Yama Kwayana, and the program in Yamahu. And then China Bibia Banam Kramunti Makasampa, and Bibi say anyhow. But President Trump, the first part, I'll buy after Obama, no, or buy no. Or try say obey that time when you aggressive because one no only Bibi Netanyahu we are no problem. He had a problem with him because I said one American committee troops and support Israel over the Iranian affair. And the turn around time now, no, isn't it surprising? Say the same person now can say Oni Netanyahu any problem no now no he's in the good books of Bibi Netanyahu. Netanyahu branding say Trump is the best president of the United States of all times. Wow. And he say politics. Politics you saying yes Israel or see ni fear our region ni ni fear ni Israel any Iran ni fear ni ni say Hezbollah no on ne kon ne weapons ikura no ombe weapon ni na made in Israel Iran ombe weapons ni Hamas na made in Iran and to feel say Iran a threat and no decided say obokwa hit on Iran. Wow. But whilst doing this na UN General Assembly
yes
assembly da ho awomuka European Union no mo ka assembly
yeah
enti surprisingly our President Trump oye ne campaign no or can say Oba Iran would never have nuclear but no be any intentions any adwena ne di achi and to the quite as he said Hamas renewed clashes escalations with Israel no and omu started say omu pushy the agenda on Iran say on submit it but meanwhile Iran say e forces su okrom ha ayi nti program no munim de ekoso overnight a obi anim akwan Israel for trigger say Israel trigger no utie the first speech of the president of Trump of America or say Israel on the right so defending him on the right so taking care of Bibiana it's seen say a threat to Israel but American can home American mem we are not the same person like I said name mum say etu na Israel abetutu ato abekunkum generals no say Iran your mistake no retaliate dia American BTS from what does it mean?
Nice what take size
what di kai wie dida and I will share the extent of the intelligence course our operation Israel from quantum it is not possible. The Israeli Mossad yes they are the one of the fastest in the world smartest in the world Oma infiltrate already Iran omo ho and Iran for suspicion say ebia IAEA for no International Atomic Agency for no omo nkofo ena omo ebae use Israelis na buy as a decoy and the team ma omo because all the bombardments in Israel precision because we should be yi generals one after the another Republican Guard the National Republic the head of security no and if you near destroy day one then President Trump say no mama with 2 weeks mon comply and then be no must comply because they're already having discussion with the European Union which American can comply and say any day only an agent say okay 2 weeks I want to be me comply obey say afenu obi su sabi usu kura weapons kakra near to tutu ba also started say omso eye gidigidi then that one in the resuscitate America anger but the world was expecting CBA President Trump the American system obeko Congress to seek blessings from Congress or Kokon.
Oh.
But already na Congress, because it's the American system. But the same American system, no say Mahuan Kwan say, who is president of United States of America or executive order on chain to go to Congress.
Yeah.
In Tisania man or yen the time a Congress upon.
Yes. Oh.
Majority as it. The same thing Obama okukum Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
They do it outside the range of Congress. In the emergency session, Krana when
as a war majority of parliament.
What you say?
My porno, and I don't know.
Nature say, or ma take a decision, no, and Americans so they could join here or no ama situation, no.
Indeed, say America, no, why they say Iran no on Timini America sonko.
There be on Timmy.
One day were form.
One day no, I will form in two things.
Yes.
And one day I was on so here support.
Yes.
Allies. But the allies in no, our American forces will be lunatic governments. No?
Yeah.
Russia, China, Cuba, Nicaragua, Pakistan, Iran, Ankasa.
Yes.
And your friends say North Korea, Cambodia, and side governments, lunatic. They will not. Russia, for instance, already know or one on hand are dealing. And Russia also say, or the same powers of fighting materials, equipment, logistics, arms and ammunitions, race, on the American forum.
Yes.
And so I against on the American racer. Like I said, destroy me, let me destroy you. But then Russia so agree me said, United States move so or say friends of America.
Okay.
Either we are with us or you are not.
Okay.
Like you saw the pressure back to Europeans and so. Or the pressure to Europeans and so. UK Odimika Beko. No matter how UK will condemn Americans' actions, say a bad fight, say Iran, American fighter, UK Beko.
US
of course, Spain Beko.
Yeah, Germany.
Italy Beko. Germany co humanitarian on tutu. Holland co humanitarian on tutu. Switzerland obedi American chair on tutu. Poland odi American chair on tutu. Red Cross nations and now said Denmark, Scandinavia, they go. Ombediachi as friends. Say be two American, but because they can world war no. Say na a friend say Hitler wipe or person wipe the whole Europe no. American for and a Becca UK ni France. Timidiji to be a fee say or your friends of the United States. America ko can talk or ko can be Iraq. Or no kwane kwaye a muya deno and a UK ko kan ho. A muya deno or call for the allies. Either you are with us or you are not. Italy me na kokumbi. The same thing occur in Afghanistan. Inti bueno oka say Iran say or TS so no be kwa. All these countries in Bekon one. Obey stress and you one. Two. Superpower in the air. America say from nanko omo konto kwa no. Say army on the street there. Ontimni Iran ko. Because US Marine no they are not trained that much. So abako omiya recovery. But before so many recovery no are making sure say the Air Force now will create the power, the firepower no. What destroy majority as or breaking o military bibia or jam or systems in term marine no betimako I make headway. And the background fight na France for the betimako bro America and the UK for the betimako bro America. But America no on here ground fight because on find so jeni back kra ambesi form. Into another the concentration in your air. I also now know because the modern day fighting technology. Yanku form. Yeah. And now Unyamano American folk sophisticated jammers. Israel for is the best technological for defense equipment. Only ahead of every country in the world. And before say even Gromba call Iran, no a Germany radar. The defense system in a German. And you know, Timmy call SPC P quiet back to back year do no. What about America? They are 2-3 times than the friends Israelis. Yeah. And the sign they are. Iran never tries to yebi. And you say all to America to no on the Israel will concentrate because one on my America. Yes. And American force who said and yet true say Iran our weapon will be to do United States. Yeah. Name of the weapon 1,500 miles obey do Israel with coordinated
so who knows our head seen
and the sign there American forces so vessels a peninsula mu intercept omo de omo to we drones ne there it is amazing say now Oma underestimated the kind of drones and the number of drones that Iran fire.
Oh.
They have so much, but in the Israeli interceptors, you know, and you Mkwande, American for the no, I work Peninsula Gulf no, and the yes, and before say Iran Ben agency or Pajano, no man intercept. Yes, it be landed because so to 5 far interceptors in between Makachi Bear 3, maybe a 2 be a bell landed, and a 2 nuclear landing no, almost try say ombe blown away, say unco the public space.
Yeah.
And that is what actually is going on. But America and Israel, me can say, and Tokani a political, and then Tokani a historical, and the hodida.
Okay.
Name of the most important thing to say in the business aspect of it, and Tokai a business, a business.
Okay.
United States a business, meaning say, in tuna omuto ICBM, any the powerful in our papa. The American government yes sent you a company, individual company in the producer. So individual companies and to come maya
Onyeska
omutuno ebia pale 8 years 10 years into kwabiama. And these are technologists, these are engineers, these are high proficient people. The human be a $50,000 a month for 5 years and run so your production. Papa na etuesi yanwe bombs ni yanwe ICBM yanwe mbajo de ase any jet fighters ni nyina no enye jet fighters eye individual company mi na ye na ton ma wo mu until all this is fuse it ebia e mani e fuse and the fuel and tokwa ne kire say ye onkofo so omsu broke ye brokers of those weapons and to also be so say man chali you are looking at the business side of the fight. Yeah. You are looking at the historical side of the fight and then the political side of the fight. There be a 20 there. This is not the first time. And American ankasa with that Israel. One Iran enya exchanges. Our Gulf no Yemen ho. Time na Yemenis rebels Houthis for no ekwato to etuo ene etutu boy USS Code 1 our Yemen Gulf ni mo ho no na America also respond there Iran o ma yesa man exchange but that was an enlightened note and quite bigger escalation George Bush time e BC even Obama kra no kakres na there was espionage action say Iranian yaba eyimu amom to kote machines ni bi gu ho but eno anya bigger but this one there the scale ni big because amount for so ebenyeska
yes
omon benyeska companies are use weapons drones na cost one drone say cost be 1 million 2 million 3 million dollars and your war barisa moses may be cost 2 billion America the a B-22 bomber mono 30,000 pounds machine and we could to assassin so 30,000 pounds bomber no we say a say one a and why dear one who scan echo machines echo at $2 billion one bomb echo $2 billion so much to 7 say no 14 billion and we just say our company no abeman to kwana
da as obi oye fundaka no
bacho kwa anopa no masi omtrase no ma bompaye but no amu so te sare ma mewu anu osu
o bompaye say market mra o ma me
kwa anopa o mu duru ayi friends amochi road wa so musa no mo bompaye but no anu say do to anya farm ekomoton adaka no okofa ni patu what dey say but no a oya adaka no your friend say be ma me awakura no atwi ni so na bompaye na abo no ma na ndo over ni ati David enti world order is a politics, is a business and your friends a historical religion. Shall be said I didn't know United Nations General Assembly. You were emergency sitting, Security Council. So they are working. UN criticize it. UK Kabi. Why now see where you one troop? UN team mobilize it. UN team for troops. UN team for say Yemen nipa nko Israel. Na onko stop the fight even with Israel and the Palestine. UN wa himfa. Palestine, Israel for so for more than 60 to 70,000 within about 6-7 months, 8 months campaign. UN team for soldiers in Koho. UN for crown missions now on Omumpie. Oma Pamo Mama free ho. And Untino, Sir America walk away from the UN discussion table as a unilateral decision. Onun Kwan Israel na yo ma de. France and Kasaye or Kasa or say Oma escalation on Kofom. But on Kasu Omunyai. UK or say young go on the diplomatic table. Wankasu Munyanto corner. Japan, only country or Asia or taught Iran oil more than any other country. But on no crown or say America has the right to defend themselves. Defend themselves over what?
Over what?
But we are a peaceful solution. How do
so
you
far
find
as a
peace?
Turkey for the nana mekaye Thomasum kakra.
I was saying
Turkey for the no or say Turkey is deeply concerned about the possible consequences of the US attack on Iran's nuclear facilities,
yes,
which risk escalating the conflict to a global level. We call on all relevant parties to act responsibly, to immediately cease mutual attacks, and to refrain from steps that could lead to further loss of life and destruction.
Okay, so I know your friend in diplomatic language. Obeka. But where does say Turkey Beka say also a big size of army, and also Ben Persia ho. But the area countries in the Persian Gulf and also the Persian Peninsula no, say Uzbekistan ho, Tajikistan ho, Turkmenistan ho, Afghanistan ho, Azerbaijan ho, Armenia ho, and Sana waba the side, the edge of Syria. Countries in our region no, emu hwan and waka say or kwako support Iran, even if not anything other Persian for so do me nipa ba obi amoano and now countries like say nyina attack me nyina no obi anu obaboa because say obi aso mpeso ne America benya direct confrontation.
America na be world superpower
and yes anya wa be ye no ho because after the 1945 war world war no only the collective the world and Odumba United Nations General Assembly, 6th and 7th Avenue of America. And we'll say, Yamra Haniama Junjun. So cleverly, no, or no, and a year recovery, I do a munina buy. Because at that time, one says Second World War, like an American on count directly, non conquer, baby, or one day Europe.
Yes,
but the Coba say Hitler, Etima move or move walk or London or wipe the whole Europe. And the ma British for involve United States. Omko provoke woman here to say the German Hitler no and American for trigger buy. And when they came down and then they bet America only France and your friends UK it in Berlin. Okay. See why base all over Germany almost sovereignty America there. Ono na who say okay. And so where be we are saying superpower and no the man who superpower say me na me best and na me so we are say war no ba we and nyansa no doso and don't forget sampa a multiracial nation and ideas go into the American development in terms of technology no eso and no my niama me brebe and na wo ma so no e kwa me brebe ma fa so de anya o musika. And the money is there, the population is there. Okay. The talk about First World War, the Second World War, and in America making sure that whilst Europe and other countries in no more wrestling, now America develop race of weaponry, race set in the future of any defense. To look at superpower now, and yes, it can someone kwa. Why you say, oh yeah, maybe ababo. Yeah. And intina only Russia. Ubia suni yonko and this is talk a bit man engage Russia Ukraine Russia US no and no now because a global but rather no Israel Iran there and no a friend a regional war and there can be an escalation to be a world war. It is not possible. It cannot be a world war. It will be contained within the same region because this is not the first time EBSC is contained within the original war. And be a anchor because Obin Timugoga said Iran any America now or support Iran Tino say Togo support to America there Ghana or Simini Togo Koko. It will not get to that.
Yeah,
it was in the Second World War.
Yeah.
And I know yes, sir.
Okay.
They were doing that because now there were a lot of countries and land, protected areas, you know. Naguho, na land, but now no, there is no even any law. Obi kwa in population here 3,000, narrow alarm 5,000. Omi na a country or on the water boundaries. In then our Babako, Ghana independence over 68 years.
Yeah.
Britain timber fan say me kwa kokun into the machi is not possible. Into where is the world war?
I get you.
So there cannot be a world war, but a regional war. Oma na di yomu business.
All right.
Okay.
Enche yebewe in under a few minutes, but away from war no. Na nse ne etiti hu say Trump de tabo beto aman bi so a omuntumi mba America. Ebi se o nya no kure, ebi se no kure. Pacho, how true is that say especially Africa and Arabian countries be sounds asem na nenam wiem say Trump de tabo beto ebi kura de Ghana e shem. Pacho no kure be na wom sa.
Say there woman make a public statement.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
And idea is a news out there in your secret.
Okay.
But share the near manner the requirement na and na obi baka say funny kakra.
Okay.
Why? One is say or say one my times our country is 34 na Ghana a part no. Say yan share near citizens o ma apply visa at the back. No any time so no ankwa or the Ghana or the better so.
Okay.
Obi be wisa say utuwe anami tuwe na majim visa na mtukwa na mama. President mama fa ho be.
No e de hu be wi awombo.
Ghana fa ho be. Two osa say country bia udin wom. So I na dwen so deporting nkofo for America. Na wa mie kwan ama na mfa nkofo no ametu mu angu ha. Meaning say so high plane no de nipa ba West Africa. Nigeria fo, Togo fo, obi obefan bi oyin nipa tuntu na Africa bi obetimi dina shim. Se Ghana na se bi a country bi odin wa makwa amana mfa ma also kan. The point is that wonya mfa obi mai. Wonya mfa obi mai ene ya makwai. Enti adenti na ade kan ho. And if the world remembers her, Ghana need the one and the only African country American for non-titled citizens are from Guantanamo Bay prisoners.
Yeah.
See a jiwomu. Ya jiwomu.
Okay.
Omu basis ya mamu kwai.
Yeah.
And here there and kenuomu ya very fine. And one wonders our list of nations or the Ghana count. Now let's look at it from the point. Countries be about so it's also a little bit because country be say Gabon.
Yeah.
On population is not up to 1.5 million. Gabon no heaven air France and US.
Yeah.
And the Gabon no de never count Gabon why they.
Yeah.
Chad on America. Already no Chadians omunko.
Yeah.
Eritrea America no issue. Somaliland on no issue. Cameroon. What the woman in French Congo on any Romiano French countries.
Ivory Coast.
La Côte d'Ivoire. Senegal so no woman in France no Senegal crowd there. Omunko Denmark. Scandinavian and Senegalese won't go. They don't like America. Be what but Niger do say no America. And to other countries now, he enlisted them because no one can say or pursue or ye in diplomatic missions. And free some of the countries. But I find it strange is Ghana no, the whole ECOWAS, aha and America, higher command, biggest embassy in Ghana no.
Okay.
Under President Kufuor.
Oh, okay.
And this is what US Embassy High Command West Africa and Ghana. And then the Beba said, would the Ghana ban as part of it? It is all banned and now mission also by a day.
It's true.
And Tinema Buha, Nina politics.
But only say a bit my possible Anna Wakakeke.
From what President Trump do is can in Yemen, it is very difficult to predict.
It's true.
Because also Israeli and Iran the Ukraine. Ubusana oh there be there yam fair hunshim. Yam fair hunshim Israel for affair. More me bet. On one moon sorry overnight or say as America a can. But don't forget say sir list of nations here also American. Or by an first 17 be Cambodia, Burma, Myanmar, all countries be ebem. Or the Somalia can or the Eritrea can at a point crown or the Djibouti and or the Ethiopia Ebeka because omne Benamed Ahmed omne no a problem. What they say or the countries, but way 34 need the surprise 10. But then only African countries, Caribbean forms or the Caribbeans in be so at the count. Now, does that mean say Europeans are America? Sao Tome and Principe. Look at a country like Sao Tome and Principe. Sao Tome and Principe, Portuguese of honor. Apart from Portugal, country be no ko wiase. Na Ghana how we share Sao Tome Principe da. How much more America? But what is it? And the countries now listen on the bar. Dominican Republic. Do I say? They find because in our American continent. Syria, of course, one no problem that they say no. Almost pro-American government is Syria anti. Minimum how or this Syria as so ebi abeka ho. But what are they na say? And the list ni dey waye. But so obi beka say onye no. Obi anim because me fear ni say time now or yes I list ni ba out no. The next day and the United States embassy in Accra also so echo the ambassador also can say Ghanaian student wunim now be apply for American visa. Now the fake document be ban. They will deal with you. You didn't say much. I think so. Ghanaian applicants, visa applicant B1, B2 for visitors and the business. Wow, but kwa mano Ghana being a problem.
It's true.
And also controversially, as I be say, Ghana Nibia and as a country's room dear woman. On you very careful say on fa investment. Shadi oyo. Investment support and investment technicality emergency resident permit. What is the investment? And you mean American for CBA say $1 million and $500,000 between the year investment our America green card. It is a Ghana nibi ya na adwin say okwa investment said ye bi mu aye ye bi na enye Ghana nipa ne na ye law when why law
and afa oye yes wa qualify
na odi amanu na wo sa turn around say obi anhwe no anfa investment so answer me like say the whole thing no very difficult aha want how exactly they want to do it and as he wants to do but on the whole no ni nyina ne say as a country ebi maka Iran Israel war ebe affect Ghana. It should not affect Ghana. Iran oni banku Ghana oni Iran oni kunkunte
di tuzafi
mpacho what I say but who can akosi oil so say only say Iran is a big player but Israel no couldn't talk around no adwen oil ho Syria or region ni mu Brunei mu nyina wo around into onu kro mo ti ho a
mo ben direct
be mo no kro anye dede into you cannot sit here 4,000 miles away 5,000 miles away now ma mesu say Iran Israel war no e be create problem am a global effect e be affect inflation but good countries no obi aye ne mra obi aye ne law wa hye ne niam ye o create no wealth say si ato oil num kra na or other shocks a otim di nya ne sika ye de ne de ahi and any problem because yetimi yusu COVID throughout abro wiase no bia kwa emmo COVID ndi e ka se no na me ye ho kire ye wie be su Russian Ukraine war ye se na me ye ho kire to the extent say his excellency the president Nanado eko UN in the last general assembly or say any bullet that hits on target on Ukrainian soil affects the pocket of a Ghanaian how but he didn't also say any bullet that hits on Russian soil enriches the pocket of Ghanaian. It's a lazy economic approach. And to me, Murphy said, the current government, much as they can comment about it, please and please once again, your 180 parliamentarians are because the Ghana for you support. It should not take anybody, any parliamentarian say Ghana kwa huchirim na Iran, Israel would know.
Mo bi amfansheni.
No bi amfansheni.
Mo bi ama politician bi amfana.
Obi anu ha odi banku ho. Israel woni banku. Omo kono yemfa abode enkoma wo mu. Ena Ghana yenye toy gun kran fa nkomo bi ni akase ye ho kire ye. Enti say oil dia. Usu tu oil ni bi. Ye Ghana ye part of the OPEC. Yen hunu say ye loss ni agreements ye oil no. Yen revise it. Yen review. Ni so entimia oil ni bi enye dey. Yen refining for the use of Ghana. Now untimi into oil ni now the 1 barrel. Papa one barrel kwan ye ni bi na obi tin ba bi no okwa we say na be ma watch no a lazy
approach
a very lazy approach.
My last question here, dollar CD no.
Yes.
No near the baby. Among for say a buy no more dembo and I'm a dollar no. Etimi aba be do from. Ebisu say entokana ekoso which is which.
Entokwa dey.
Say be na okay. Israel dey entokado. You say e ka ho na ama dollar no. I mean ebi attribute to international I mean reasons. Ebi said that be abaning ye dollar no dey yen abaning na ye. As a diplomat, I mean,
okay. So let's look at it from that point economically.
Okay.
Ghana and Kasano, the need for dollar.
Yeah.
And share any too much said you no.
Okay.
On the street value.
Okay.
Let's look at cities by cities.
Yes.
Accra, Uncle for $2. Matter. And your dollar be an uncle for $2. A man called China.
Yes.
A man called Turkey.
Yes.
A man called Dubai.
Yes.
On spare parts for on the street.
Yeah.
Kumasi dollar they need a day won't be up to $500,000, $200,000. Takrade dollar the whole takrade best circulate a day and no 50,000.
Sunya kwade bobo.
Sunya bear 4,000 Ghana. Doma the techima dollar bear. And him funny here dollar Ghana. So therefore, yeah, crowd dollar na government according to treasury.
Yeah.
United States Treasury ya $2 no ebeton.
Yeah.
A hona problem no kwa ne wo. Any say.
Okay.
Wa $2 or America as a treasury. O ba beton. Into America the $100 be an demand $98 and then 97.
Yeah.
When you $3. Na government wo dia ba. O ba wa ma o bank no. Wa ma no 2 onon ton. Na wo so the one e dia ya o niama. Majority as ye musa Ghana bank a o $10 di ma wo bi. Wafa CDs akọ bank ama omudi ama there be sikana yedema banks no Ghana government koji wa bank central bank no treasury na ekoto no America beton no oji near the ma bankers na no omudi ama forest bureau ayifo no omudi ama black market whereas say your forest bureau se wo krum ha Accra Kumasi regionally the whole country the forest bureau bbb yemusa say forest bureau ben and a government amount of dollars so mfanye na juma meanwhile first bureau owners no ebi wo dollar omu dollar na wo government no ebi 100,000 ebi 300,000 ebi 200,000 ebi 30,000 and this government no kwaji dollar no de ba and odi ma forest bureau so apaka dollar politics na kan ka dollar bi ani ho no but forest bureau no duom sika ma ban the crab ban no and e she no botom and na wo for dollar ba na de ama bank so mfa dollar ne manko for better na dollar ne nkoso into a small pressure seasonally season pressure kakra baba dollar so no hu escalation and then hyperinflation on the dollar now the cost right now say aban of course so was topple too much of abnormal spending spending nkoso and to hear too much of a dollar and the gold board so established here it is true say near dollar no a leaky through the Indians and the black market board borders na no gold no corner that was the one the pressure at the better so
okay
do you understand because ya no matter so turn na hakra black market no they $2 no they far border na chi no this kind of Indians were doing other nationals am obi aye bi enti sa plan de ato a yenia no dollar no say ye to gold 1 kilo gold $100,000 oh the London bullion price yenia kasa Ghana government gold board no also $2 ni bi dey say also to gold ni bi and what does it mean? This is a catch obi akotu gold say the garam say a company what to no we broni kra no tu gold ha nessa a year 100,000 Dubai market na Ghana government say farmer metal 100,000 or they quite yes. So there will be a CD, there will not be need for dollar
into where the abwa pie
gold board on a part but then it does not mean say generally because they say no I started say air climb because time na timi ba be do 10 no we didn't take measures to some extent say you bet put two measures into my Nigerians and my ECOWAS for no French for no near that the Togo has say omu ba beto dollar no eno na ma dollar no asa a wipe out.
Okay.
But the whole thing is say to be able to sustenance no approach na ni say dollars na wa gin forest bureau for ho no. Say president and then the government in pursue maintaining the dollar no en cost dia where say gold board on support no on for forest bureau for there no obi ani dey 50,000 man 25,000
okay
and the forest bureau be the 25,000 a day and what they are to forest bureau be pound no next guy was sakra no 2,000 and the pressure on the dollar near him fa
all right
me ba chwa dey say and so a danka bibia dollarization nipa do say what bubu asha okotua dollar what Santa Maria would the dollar in the track. I will shoot this dollar. Dollar no him for cantonments East Legon, Airport Hills in Crano, or no envelope nation would in cracker. So we don't necessarily need dollar as we think we need. It is not true. What I say?
Just a few people.
Just very few. Any banks and also so any forest bureau, black marketing is the bank that makes the dollar issue being a big deal. Our Ghana I say. And it's a government, ultimately so streamline year. Now on the inflow of the dollar no akọ forest bureau and a gold board no so no it must stop the dollar spillage because say abroad omom to gold black market no de facto go and baby the pressure beto dollar no so ha all these things no emma dollar need to rise.
All right.
In any case dollar no and then Ghanaians and then Ghanaians how many people are using dollar enti we did say abano esoso oya de enti we just only pray say omo beye ebeto asosa na nhihye no ama dollar no Ghana force dollar ni gina but is that the case? Answer is no, it's not dollar. We are not creating wealth as a country. I was say yan near to me hihye kwan apart from cocoa any traditional inflows so eno ni ade ehia me ba jwa say wo ton crude oil nyina so we refining 1 barrel kwa na wo ton no Ghana ha your people will be okay with it. But what the oil ni nyina no oko 10% to the man say on gross no e drum titi scan nyina de be kan ya dem a peanut
ya mi shira
obi
hia wa be denya
oh no
bibi said ni ho
obi hia nka jiro musa
e ba cho ebre ne bre se o time a e beta na wa ba ya fa topic different enye continuous the ba available
that's why
yeah ba what be nipa messages aba nyina no people are learning a lot yamishra yamishra thank you for coming bro.
Thanks for receiving me.
Alaikum.
All the best.
Okay abusia yanani ya homra ya ba the show continue.
So Europe and America now say this guy area ba Ghana ko ade abusia send wave money transfer app na betimi aboa so we send e de agu mobile money wallet so and our bank account so ubetimi ayizi sa app we e de asende. I wish I network be easy be as ubetimi e de asende sa so now first transaction no ubenya $20 free the answer will be easy promo code JSXM2 JXXM2 we use our promo code ya o first transaction pay and ubenya $20 free.